Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, where the thing said trial former, or the save file said trial former, and I don't know why, rather than saying it was just the trial. I'm slightly worried. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of grey areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big grey area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. Yes, they should. Yes, they really should. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. But the defendant should believe in their innocence. That's the whole point of the defense. Never forget that. Miss Guy, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. You don't know what you're talking about. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. Thank you. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae to help me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be all alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. You know, you've got me, and I was way ahead of her. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Yay. Alright. The courtroom. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. You haven't... That's... It's much more forceful in person. That's not an opening argument. You're just making your conclusion. So don't feel like confessing to everything. She will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Is the person, like, brought the meals? Yes, it is. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. So just really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? This is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What does pickled tapioca even taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Right, well. We'll have a quick look through the kind of evidence we have, and just to kind of refresh ourselves, because it has been a while for me. Right, we've got the investigator's ID. We've got the King of Prosecutors trophy. We got Edgeworth's knife, which was the murder weapon, and yet somehow he's not the suspect this time. He arrived 3 minutes before the murder. I don't know why that's a piece of evidence. Yeah. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Which side of 4 p.m.? Or is that one of the... Oh, right. Between 4 and half 5. Right, okay. Chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. Bruce Goodman. Wasn't that the name of Gumshoe? I was thinking the detective was Goodman, but he's Gumshoe. So currently it says 675, 12 over 2. But I think, isn't today the 21st of February in the game? I think I've already said this. Oh, and then that becomes SL9. Which is frustrating, because it's so obvious you to rotate it. Yeah. And you can't rotate it round. Right. That will probably come up a bit later, but we'll... Right. Got a few bits and pieces. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honour, as Mr. Edgeworth said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? I know who you are. Cough up. No, my phone is ringing. Wow, that was a long phone call. I've lost track of how long it's been. So, not really sure where we are, but we'll, how long it's been. So these might be some really weird sized episodes. We'll see. Cough up Queen Angela Starr, Your Honour. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. Parking lot, the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel, and B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's space. Oh, I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's space, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. Killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. Who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honour. Okay, so she probably did it then? Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honour. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright. Can't agree on principle, Your Honour. Seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honour. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Are they talking about me? Yes. Right, the testimony. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boy... How touching. Why would you be bringing a lunchbox at 5 o'clock? Or is this... Like, this is the thing, is I don't know if it means, like, lunchbox, it just means meal box, or if it actually means a box of food for lunch. So, yes. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed in Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. So, my immediate reaction is lunchbox. I've already read through these. Right. Press on the lunchbox. This boyfriend, he's the detective. Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thank you. The judge had to think before replying. The security room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level so you can see everything from there. That'd be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. Like, this is the thing, is I don't know if this is a Alright, I'm gonna challenge. Oh, I didn't. That's not how you challenge. Oh, I pressed again. That's not what I meant to do. Eventually, I'll figure out the buttons. He says in basically the post-credits story. Oh dear. I mean, they're not bringing up that it's lunchboxes at 5 o'clock. We'll present, and they'll probably be like, oh, that's got nothing to do with anything. I will save, though. Yeah, that's... yeah, there it says, Trial Former. I don't know why it's called Trial Former. Right. Why were you delivering lunchboxes at 5 o'clock? No, wrong button. It's that button. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. I mean, it does, because then it's not a lunchbox. No, she's... okay. So, by lunchbox, they meant meal. They meant meal. So that's not right. So, okay, through the wire fence. By garish car, you mean... Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. So why isn't he the prime suspect? Why is he the prosecutor? This doesn't make any sense. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. She's telling the truth. We're doomed! Just to do what we can, even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. We're doing Ledgerworth here. I need something more substantial than that. Like, the press on the lunchbox probably should have been the lunch part of it, because that's where my brain goes. Maybe it's a kind of like, you know, cultural language thingy-me-what's-it between UK and America, because I wouldn't have said lunchboxes for 5 o'clock. Yeah, what the suspect was doing when you saw her. Chief Prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Is there something stupid like she's actually left-handed? No. Okay, let's press everything until I know what I'm doing. Tell me about this knife. I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Plus, you are by nature well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. The defendant was holding a knife. What then? She thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Seems like an odd verbiage. Why you didn't try to stop this crime? You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound. We can make it. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. No, that's not science, and that's also irrelevant, because it has to be legally flawless. What do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool. Press the witness bit, shall we? Having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. I always knew a day like this would come. Oh, we've gone round. Okay, right. How did you know this? I knew I was going to snap one day. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. So she's now got a motive. So she's got a motive, and she's the only witness? Hello. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. On my way to deliver a lunchbox, I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed... Hang on. So... yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any way you could say she couldn't have seen it from there. In my right hand, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. So that's it. I think I've pressed on everything. Holding a knife in her right hand. Okay, I've not done this one, I don't think. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means.